welcome. I hope you are all doing well. Thank you so much for joining me here to talk about books. And today our book is Curious Tides by Pascale Lascalle. I'm probably saying that wrong, so I apologize. The story takes place at Adalyn College for Lunar Magic, which exists in a world where an individual's magic is determined by the type of moon they were born during and the position of the tide. The least understood and most unpredictable of all of the types of magic are for those born during an eclipse. Emery has been friends with Romy and her brother Baz for years, and when they go to Adalyn, of course, Emery and Romy are going to be roommates. But once they get there, Romy begins to withdraw from Emery, and she sneaks out at night. Then a tragedy occurs. 6 students are missing from the beach, and 6 other students who were with them have disappeared. They're believed to be dead. The only survivor is Emery. Now it's the start of a new year, and Emery has questions about that night. She saw another student at the beach when she awoke, a student that no one else realizes was there. And since everyone knows that Emery was there and she survived, she's now looked at with suspicion and fear. Emery is a healer. She was born during a new moon, but when she attempts to use magic, it's more like the magic of those born during an eclipse. One other student, Baz, Romy's brother, realizes that Emery has this type of magic. And if the others figure it out, Emery could be given the unhallowed seal, which is a seal given to those who experience a collapse. A collapse occurs to those with eclipse magic. When their magic gets out of control, it can harm anyone who is near them at the time. Emery asks for Baz's help in learning to use her magic. But they both have questions, including what was Romy involved in? How could what happened at the beach change Emery's magic? And if Emery's magic was changed, what about the magic of the other student Emery saw at the beach when she awoke that night? This book has a lot going for it. A fabulous magic system, a secret society, and lots of questions that need to be resolved. It's the first book of the Drowned Gods duology. The author has said that she is working on the second. So while you're waiting for that second book, here are some other books to read. First up, A Study in Drowning by Reid. This is the author's first young adult book. The story follows Effie. She has a favorite author and wanted to study literature. But in the world where this story takes place, women are not allowed to study literature. Instead, she is studying architecture, and she is the only female student in the architecture college. When the family of her favorite author announces a contest to redesign the family home, Effie enters and wins. But redesigning the manor is an arduous task. Another student, a literature student, is at the estate too. This unlikely pair will join together to research the author's legacy. But this search leads them to realize that there are dark forces at work. And these dark forces could bring them to ruin. A Study in Drowning has a gothic feel and promises to be a wonderful book. Next is Foxglove by Adalyn Grace, and this is a book that I hope to be reading in December. I don't want to reveal any plot spoilers, so I'll just talk about it in the way that I've talked about the first book in this series, Belladonna. Xenia has been raised by a series of guardians, all related to her and all more interested in her inheritance than in her herself. Now she's going to live with her last remaining relatives, a cousin Lily, and Lily's family. When she arrives, she learns that Lily has died, and the grief-stricken family has been torn apart. Lily's husband alternates between isolating himself in grief and throwing elaborate and decadent parties. Percy, their son, is angry. He's angry that his father has not turned to him in his grief, and he's angry that his father has not turned over the family business to him to run. He's also alone because his sister Blythe has been suffering from the same illness that killed their mother. But Xenia is familiar with death. She has seen him as a person since her grandmother's death, and with her abilities, she realizes that Blythe does not have an illness, someone is poisoning her. With no one to turn to except Silas, a stable hand, and Death himself, she agrees to train as a reaper to gain Death's assistance. Foxglove continues the story of Xenia and promises to be every bit as exciting as Belladonna. And our final book is A Deadly Education by Naomi Novik. This story is set in a school for magic called Schoolmance, a school where students are lucky to survive. Monsters are everywhere, and students must make careful selections from the cafeteria because their food selection could kill them. Elle is in her junior year, and she has been underestimated by everyone the whole time she's attended the school. She has secrets, one of which is the identity of her mother. Orion has saved her life twice. He is loved by everyone, which Elle just can't understand. She also can't figure out why he is following her around and appears to want to be her friend. And honestly, no one else in the school can figure that out either. They might end up as friends if they can survive the school year. This is the first of a series that I hope to be reading next month. And there we are. I will return very soon with what I'm reading in December, so we'll find out what I actually am reading. I hope that you will join me then, and until then, I hope that you enjoy all that you do and all that you read. And thank you.